What up, HCQJ? This is an introductory presentation to what's going to be a much longer presentation. I mean, right here I have a slide presentation of sorts. It's only a few images, but it helps to convey an idea. So basically, we have housing issues in my area, and this is my proposed solution. Without getting into details of who it's for or how they get into the program, let's just get right into it. Essentially, we might not actually be converting a storage unit or storage facility into a rooming house, but we're still using the design and construction principles. So essentially, if you need a second door or exit for the room for it to be legal, we might need to build them in single rows of 10, 15 feet by 10 feet, 10 side by side. It's essentially 110 feet long, 15 feet wide, plus a 5-foot row between columns. So that's 20 feet, 15 feet, plus 5 feet, and then times 10 is 200 feet. So at one end of the row, all the way down this right end here, we have 4 bathrooms per row of 10. And across 10 rows, that means we have a line of 40 bathrooms across the back wall, or the, let's just call it east wall. Now, each of those 4 washrooms or 40 washrooms are 5 feet wide, about 8 feet deep, and they contain a shower, a toilet, a sink, mirror, space to change, clothing hooks, whatever the case. As nice as this single room here, which, by the way, if you look at this room, I obviously did not design it, so let's try to borrow it to create an image here. So let's just say on this left side of the room, which is finished, we have it exactly as it is there. But then on this right side, we have other things. Like we have a pantry with storage, and down this end here towards us, we have a computer desk, little office, library, bookshelf, that kind of thing, with a nice comfortable chair. So it's a really nice room for anybody to sit in. Plus it's got Wi-Fi. I don't know if we need to do cable. Some people like TV, but this venture here is, I mean, it's fair because it is for somebody to live. So if what they like to do when they live is watch TV, then they're at liberty to do so. But this is ideally the hope to get people up and going and living a different kind of life. And when I say a different kind of life, I mean one that's not based on natural pleasures or ease of relaxation, but is actually built on being a productive life in whatever their chosen field is. So saying what was on the right side or the east side, on the west side, we have other needs. We have a giant facility that is built with the like shared construction. So for each row, we'll have, let's just say, 4 stoves, 4 ovens, counter space, but each person has their very own bar fridge. So you go and you do your groceries, you put your stuff in your bar fridge, share it with your pantry, which is in your living room, which is in your own room, and you do cooking. And so there would be basically 40 stoves, 40 ovens, 100 bar fridges, and this is per floor. So 200 feet by 110 feet is the space required for all of the rooms. That's 100 rooms. 5 stories high, it's 500 rooms. Obviously with a row of bathrooms, with a row of the kitchens also all along. So now on the other side, let's just say the back of all these rooms, one side to the extreme, we have a laundry room. Obviously set up with enough laundry for everybody to do their laundry. Not at once, because that would be silly. Nobody would expect either everybody to do their laundry all at once. And then adjacent to the laundry, we have some sort of lounge. Now, again, there's also the possibility of giving everybody else in here a 5x5 storage unit. But for the price, $350 a month to each of the 500 people for a total of $175,000 per month intake or income, which is paid by the housing portion of OW or ODSP, well, nobody has to worry about paying their rent because it comes directly out of their sourcing. Further, being $350 a month, everybody having their rent paid out of their sourcing, there's no necessity of anybody to produce any other thing than their file. So, that being said, pardon me, I'm going to pause this for a moment. Yes, so presentation paused momentarily. Where was I? Yes, ODSP, OW, Kanger, housing portion. Now, there's all kinds of things to be considered. First of all, this is not a shelter. If it were a shelter, there would need to be no door. Staff wouldn't have to be able to check on you. You wouldn't have your own stuff sitting out like this. They do not offer shelters like this as far as I've ever seen. Now, since this is actually a room rental, you get to receive your mail in a mailbox. Everyone has their own. Now, again, I said the kitchen is there, which has an attendant who can also help you to cook. Or, well, there's also security. One security guard for every floor. 5 floors, 100 units. Now, you can't expect that any fights are going to break out because, well, the whole place is not just a rental unit. It's not just a room. You're not just coming here to have your room, have your life, yada, yada, yada. This is a living environment. When you come into this living environment, it's like you are part of a community. So you have to be willing to do that. Otherwise, I mean, some people just don't mind renting a room in somebody else's house where they share a kitchen and a bathroom with the landlord and they can just sit down and watch TV all day. They're not a bother to anybody. Nobody's a bother to them. Nobody cares, man. What's the problem with having somebody rent a room in your house and just watch TV up there? You never notice. This is not for that. I mean, you could spend some time watching TV, but this is for something much more. We want people to be converted from the raw form that they are in to pure gold. Essentially, sort of like a college, sort of like a university, sort of like a learning center, sort of like that, but a little more. What is FuturePRO? FuturePRO is a program designed to help get people from a project to a product, to a profit, to a professional. This applies for as many fields as we can think of, as many people as come in and have some general idea of what they want to do, become, and in teams. So let's just say there's 5 people who want to register for this excuse my language, this particular, registration period. So these 5 people who register, well, let's just say 40 people register, but we are concerned with 5 people now who register, and one of them has a great idea. 4 of them have expertise or want to learn expertise to put the business together. So you have one creator, you have a lawyer, you have a treasurer, you have somebody who wants to handle the different aspects of the business. By learning, I mean, if they need certificates, they need certificates. This could be a 3-month process, a 6-month process, whatever the case. Basically, we get the team from the idea of a project, they want to do such and such, to the point where they've got the exact actual physical product of what they're trying to accomplish. Then, once they've turned a first profit, we try to turn that into a business that is successful as the business of professionals. So in every area of industry or every area of the economy, that's where we function, particularly in the intellectual property sector, but also, whatever can be done essentially in a workshop or an office or a video studio or a music studio or any combination thereof. Conversion house gold. This is not a venture for the underprivileged. Either we're all underprivileged or none of us are underprivileged. This is a venture for the unopportuned. Because yes, they can